The Great Translation Movement, in case you guys are new here, is this group of Chinese people that want the world to see what's actually happening in China.
Yes.
So what they do is they take screenshots of stuff that's happening in social media or stuff that the Chinese government does, and they translate it into English and other languages, and they spread it around.
Yeah.
This inadvertently became the worst nightmare for the Chinese government because there's always been, and they've relied on,
the language barrier.
Yeah. There's only a few of us, right?
Yeah.
Westerners that speak Chinese, right?
Who can actually read the garbage that's being allowed to proliferate on the Chinese internet.
And that's why you guys watch us, right? Like you're watching us because we're opening maybe a new world to you, right? There's not a lot of people that can do that, right? But imagine potentially thousands of Chinese people band together and say, you know what, screw my government. Yeah. Screw all of this ridiculous nationalism and xenophobia that's going around. Let's show people what the Chinese government's actually promoting to people.
Yes.
So they put it out there. And they've gotten shut down multiple times.
Yep.
They've been hunted down like frickin' deer. Right?
Yeah, they've been attacked all the time. On Twitter, they've had their account shut down multiple times from mass flagging and that kind of thing, all these campaigns. Yeah, so
the Chinese government's hit back. They've tried to track people down. They're looking for them. We understand. We have a lot of sympathy. We get it, right?
Yeah.
But the Chinese government's came up with a very, very awful and sinister thing to do.
Yeah.
And what you're actually seeing them do now is they're putting in code.
Like watermarks, basically.
Watermarks that you can't see inside of screenshots, like metadata, all that kind of stuff, right? To track down who is taking pictures of all the bad stuff on the Chinese internet and then translating it. And the reason they're doing it is not to shut down the xenophobia. They want this. The thing is, the Chinese government stokes the xenophobia and racism. They want that to happen. They want Chinese people to hate the rest of the world. And be racist and messed up because it exerts nationalism and unifies everyone, right? But they don't want the rest of the world to see that because they're trying to be a wolf in sheep's clothing. They're trying to say, oh, no, we're peaceful. You Americans are just so bad, right?
Yeah.
They don't want anyone to see the horrible things. So what they've done is now on Zhihu and these websites, kind of like Quora, and all these places where you'll see like horrific people saying horrific stuff.
Yeah.
The Great Translation Movement, if people help them out or they find stuff, they take screenshots, it's easier to track people.
Yeah. Now, for those of you who don't understand how this works, when you create a Google account, they ask you maybe for a phone number, okay? They might ask you for another email address to verify. Or if you open an account on, say, like Instagram, you put in your details, but you can put in whatever you want.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't have to provide your real, actual name and everything.
No.
In China, when you create a Weibo account, any account actually on social media in China, you must provide your government-issued ID card. It is tied to you.
That's right.
It's been like this for a long time, over a decade now. And the reason for this is that if you make a post on the Chinese internet that's, say, critical of the government, they can tie it back directly to you. Because your Weibo account, in other words, like your Twitter account equivalent, is tied directly to your national ID. And your national ID, especially with the 5th generation ID cards, has every single bit of information about you in it. It's got your residence, where you live. It's got where you graduated, how much money you earn. It's tied into every single aspect, your entire family. It's all there, right? What?
Nothing.
Okay.
Somebody said I used my neighbor's phone number. That's so bad.
Yeah.
That's illegal. Don't do that.
Yeah. Anyway, no, the fact of the matter is, if you post anything, so, what's been going on now is that people, they have their ID, tied to their account, and they're going into their account and they see this, oh my God, look at this rubbish that's being posted on the Chinese internet on Weibo, take a screenshot of it, take a photo of it or whatever, but they're still logged in to an account that's tied to their ID card. Yeah. So now if they share their screenshots and stuff off to places like the Great Translation Movement, it can get back to them.
That's right.
So this is another way of the Chinese government to try and scare people into not sharing this information, scare people into not exposing what's being said on the Chinese internet.
Yes.
Because what's being said on the Chinese internet, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is what the government allows to be said.
Yes.
It is the most controlled internet in the world.
Yes.
They censor words, they censor phrases, they have watch lists, they have bots, they have AI, they have entire divisions of the police to sit in there. They've got the Great Firewall. And if they don't want people to talk about a certain thing, you cannot talk about a certain thing. So if you've got a lot of people in there wishing death on the United States or whatever the case may be, it means that they are allowing that to be said and they're encouraging that to be said. Because think about it. You are encouraging it by not doing anything about it.
Correct.
Okay? It's like if you've got a plate of fruit over there and people start stealing the fruit and no one stops in and says you can't steal it and you're going to jail or whatever, people are going to start taking the fruit quicker and quicker. More people are going to come in. People are going to steal it because you're allowing it to happen. So even if people are doing something illegal or talking about something which is undiplomatic and terrible and illegal, in a controlled system like the Chinese internet, that is an endorsement if you allow it to happen. And that's why the Great Translation Movement has been such a pain in the ass and a thorn in the side of the Chinese government.
Yes.
And this is one of their ways of trying to shut them down.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see how much it's bothered them.
Yeah.
The Great Translation Movement has hurt them immeasurably.
Yeah,
because it really destroys the whole idea that, yes, I'm going to create a xenophobic, racist pit.
Yeah.
Absolute pit of garbage so that people can be hateful and full of hatred towards the rest of the world so that we can control them. And then, simultaneously, we do not want anyone to see what we're doing.
Yeah, we'll pretend that we're actually friendly on the outside.